In our last episode, we made it to the world-famous Garnet Ghost Town. This time around, we make it to what could be on the very tippity top of Brenda's list of must-see places, Glacier National Park. Made it to Glacier National Park. Brenda's already excited. She's planning all the hikes. She can hardly contain her excitement. She's got too much to choose from. If you know Brenda at all, you know she loves to hike. Other than me, it's probably her favorite thing on earth. And Glacier National Park, that's a place she's wanted to hike for years. And today, it was gonna happen. But first, we had to cross over what could be the most famous road in all of our national parks, the Going to the Sun Road, to meet up with our good friends who just happened to be on the opposite side of the park. Look what we found. It's Chris and Sarah. And we're lost already and we haven't even left.
Who's a navigator here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I steer.
Glacier National Park. Here we come. Going on a big hike today. Where are we going?
Grinnell Glacier.
Sandwich.
I don't actually know if that's how you say it, but
That's where we're going.
it looks about right. This is the glacier.
The glacier. Sarah's leading the way. And we're off. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be hiking at Glacier?
10. Definitely a 10.
That's it? Brenda's pumped. Like beyond pumped. From where we started, the hike to the Grinnell Glacier is gonna be about 15 miles, right through grizzly country. We're in bear territory, grizzly country. We got a bunch of cans of bear spray, and Chris is packing heat.
Yeah, it's backpack.
Deep down in his backpack where it's not gonna do us any good. Do you feel like you should bring that heat out there, Chris? With bears definitely in the area, and quite a bit of prodding from the rest of us, Chris finally pulled that heat from the bottom of his backpack, just in case. It actually feels better packing heat, or at least having somebody pack heat. Other than the fact that Brenda really wanted to hike at Glacier National Park, the big reason we wanted to come here was because in the not too distant future, it's estimated that all of the glaciers at Glacier National Park will be gone. Between 1966 and now, the Grinnell Glacier has lost 50% of its total volume, and it's estimated by 2030, thanks to climate change, it will be completely gone.
Glacier. And we are sweaty. There's Chris. There's Wolf. And there's Sarah. And they kind of look sweaty. How's the view?
Pretty.
That's the glacier, right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually want to touch the glacier. Okay. The closer we get to the glacier, the cooler it feels. It's awesome. There are bighorn sheep right there. Bighorn sheep.
Unfortunately for all of us, Chris and Sarah only had a limited amount of time on their summer road trip, and they had to start making their way home to Oregon. So we enjoyed the time we had, said our farewells, and hope to see them on our boat next season down in Mexico.
We just finished the hike. Well, we got to the top. Now we're heading down.
We're halfway.
And Chris is already talking about food.
Yes, sandwiches.
Sandwiches at the bottom. So now we're more motivated to get to the bottom.
And the next day, it was all about waterfalls.
We made it to the waterfall. And
Totally sucks. Like this waterfall is the tiniest waterfall I've ever seen. Never go with this tour guides again.
Oh man, can you believe that?
Even with the terrible tour guide reviews, we made an attempt the following morning to hike to another glacier. But thanks to a massive wildfire that engulfed a portion of the park, we were forced to turn around.
Montana's on fire.
Montana is on fire, so Glacier National Park, we're out of here. It's too smoky. It's really thick. So, I'm gonna go someplace with clearer air. Where are we going?
Somewhere right here in the state of Montana.
And shortly after we left the park, we'd heard on the radio that the same fire that chased us out had jumped the lake and burned the historic Sperry Chalet. And that fire, along with dozens of others burning across the state of Montana, kept us driving for miles and miles just looking for a place with clean air to breathe. We eventually gave up, pulled off the highway, and made our way out into the boonies looking for a place to camp for the night. And that's where we found this guy. We found an antelope in the middle of nowhere. What's he doing out here? Traffic jam in the middle of nowhere. We spent the night out in the boonies and did one of our favorite things, watch the wildlife. And since watching wildlife is one of our favorite things, we decided the next day we should head out into the national grasslands to try to find some bison. But on the way to the grasslands, we saw this place and took a little detour. Made it to Devil's Tower. I don't remember where we were headed. Oh yeah, we were going to the grasslands, national grasslands, to see some bison. But we took a detour and ended up here. And now we're seeing prairie dogs. Who loves prairie dogs?
I love prairie dogs. They're so cute.
Want to take some home in our tent?
Maybe not in our tent, but definitely our car. They can ride in the back.
These things are everywhere. Apparently they got a different bark for each type of predator. We love our national parks and national monuments. But more than that, we just like to see cool stuff. And Devil's Tower, well, it's pretty cool. And the best way we knew how to see it was to hike around the base and see it from every side. This is, what is this place? Devil's Tower. It's America's first national monument, which is pretty cool. Who wouldn't want to see America's first national monument? I know I would. Roosevelt used the Antiquities Act to make this our first national monument when Congress wouldn't make it a national park. So he went ahead, signed it, and now we got a national monument. And it's pretty awesome. So about 200 million years ago, sedimentary rock here was about 1.5 miles higher than it is now, deep down below the surface of the earth. There was a crack, pushed up a bunch of magma, and that's what was under there. Over hundreds of millions of years, the erosion left that. And it's got some of the largest and tallest columns in the world. Pretty amazing. And we're here to see it. We love this kind of stuff. And the best way to finish out an exciting day at a pretty cool place, well, that's to hang out with the locals and watch the sunset. Going to check out prairie dogs. Prairie dogs!
Which way should we go, left or right?
And that's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we make our way through South Dakota.